Hi there, so you probably just came from part 1 of the bookshelf tour, but if you did not, then you should watch that first and then come back here and join us. So you can click anywhere on the screen to get to part 1. It's also the first link in the description if you prefer that. There are many ways, and then come back here. But anyway, here is part 2. Here I have the Across the Universe trilogy by Beth Revis. You may know, may not know, the series is super important to me because I got my name put into the last one as a character. I got an arc of it. I have them all signed. Beth Revis is just a great person and I freaking love this trilogy. It was great. I'm still sad that it's over, but I reviewed all of them. And then I have the first 4 books in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare: City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, and City of Fallen Angels. I really want to catch up on them before I read City of Heavenly Fire. That is my goal in life. Anyway, next to that I have The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and then I have Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, and then I have the Delirium trilogy by Lauren Oliver: Delirium, Pandemonium, and Requiem, and then I have the 3 little novellas, Hannah, Annabelle, and Raven. And then I have the first 3 books in the Castor Chronicles, or the Beautiful Creatures series by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. Beautiful Creatures, Beautiful Darkness, and Beautiful Chaos. And then we have the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. Well, the first 2, Shatter Me and then Unravel Me. I read the first one and I'm really excited to read the second one. I'm getting told that my camera is overheated, so I'm gonna shut my blinds. Under these books, I have the first 2 books in the Match trilogy by Ali Condi, Matched and Crossed. And then I have Cinder, The Selection by Kiera Cass. Then we have Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins. Right here we have the Crank trilogy by Ellen Hopkins, Crank, Glass, Fallout. I read Crank and it was super good. I met her and I got all of these signed. She's such a nice person and I can't wait for Crank to come to the stage. I want to read some of her other books, mostly Impulse and Tilt. And I need to read Burned actually, because Smoke is coming out soon. And Perfect looks really good as well. Next to all of those I have my 2 Jay Ashler books, 13 Reasons Why and The Future of Us, which he wrote with Carolyn Mackler. Then I have If I Stay and Where She Went by Gail Foreman. And then I have the first 2 books in the High Society series by Allie Carter, High Society and Uncommon Criminals. And then I have Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson, which was a really good book. Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, who also wrote the Delirium trilogy, which I showed you before. Hateless by Jennifer Brown, Before I Die by Jenny Downham. You Against Me, also by Jenny Downham. Saving June by Hannah Harrington. Speak and Twisted by Laurie Halse Anderson. Shine by Lauren Miracle. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. Wild Awake by Hilary T. Smith. Forever and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Bloom. Two-Way Street by Lauren Barnholt. 10 Things We Did and Probably Shouldn't Have by Sarah Milanowski. Number the Stars by Lois Lowry and Rules by Cynthia Lord. So that completes the 3rd shelf. Shelf number 4. First on this shelf right here, we have American Savage by Dan Savage. I have 3 books by Chris Colfer. I've read Struck by Lightning. That's the first one right there. And then the first 2 books in the Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell and The Enchantress Returns. Next to those, I have The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. Fantastic book and excellent movie. Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. Enclave by Anna Guire. Born Wicked by Jessica Spotswood. And then I have my Mary Downingham books, and I freaking love Mary Downingham. She's such a great storyteller. I have Mr. Death's Blue-Eyed Girls, Wait Till Helen Comes, All the Lovely Bad Ones, closed for the season, and then the 2 that I've actually read, Deep and Dark and Dangerous, and The Old Willis Place. I have my Uglies series. This is by Scott Westerfeld. We have Uglies, Pretties, Specials, and Extras. I've only read Uglies. And then we have the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. Marked, Betrayed, Chosen, Untamed, Hunted, Tempted, Burned, Awakened, Destined. I know Hidden is out now, and the next one, Revealed, is coming out this year, and then the final one is called Redeemed, and that's coming out next year. So I'd like to catch back up on that series. I've read all of them up to Awakened, so I've read Awakened, I read part of Destined, but didn't finish it. It's a pretty good series up to this point, and then it gets a little bit ridiculous with these books. It's entertaining enough. So then on this next shelf I have my DVDs. I don't buy movies like all the time, but sometimes if I really like a movie or if I see it and it's on sale, I'll just buy it. So I just recently got The Great Gatsby, the DVD that came out, and then I have Pulp Fiction and Django Unchained. I love these movies. And then I have Identity Thief, Warm Bodies, Easy A, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, of course, Struck by Lightning, which is the movie form of the book Struck by Lightning by Chris Colfer, Hunger Games, of course, Les Mis, and then we have Rent, which is arguably my favorite musical. I say arguably because I also really love Wicked and Les Mis, and I like musicals. We have Pitch Perfect and Mean Girls, always quotable movies. Baby Mama, Date Night, The Devil Wears Prada, Juno, Spider-Man Trilogy, Matilda, Milk, The Blind Side, RV, Percy Jackson, Lightning Thief movie, which I don't think I'll be buying The Sea of Monsters, Edward Scissorhands, Vampires Suck. Do you remember Vampires Suck? I actually found that pretty funny. 4 film favorites thing. It's The Secret Garden, 5 Children and It, The Witches, based on the Roald Dahl book, and The Never-Ending Story. Bringing Down the House, Contact, oh there they go. Salt, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Finding Nemo, Chicago, Elf, She's the Man, School of Rock, Legally Blonde 1 and 2, Uptown Girls, I Love You Beth Cooper, Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers, Miss Congeniality 1 and 2, Armed and Fabulous, and then the Back to the Future trilogy. And then I have season 1 and season 5 of The Office. I got those as gifts and I don't really have like all of them, but I've pretty much seen all of them. Like I've rented them on iTunes and watched them as they've come out. Oh, and I also have Inception. It's hiding in here. These are just the same from vacations and stuff. Just in case you're wondering, I used to collect these. They're super creepy. I won't go through all of these because I doubt anyone really wants to see them. These are my California ones though. And this is a little thing. So that concludes this shelf. So this first section of books here are books that don't have a place, or I have 2 copies of, or just, I don't know, miscellaneous reasons. Still books that I love. So Clockwork Prince, I don't know why I have this since I don't have Clockwork Angel and I have not even read Clockwork Angel. I have my collector's edition of The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I have The Hunger Pains by the Harvard Lampoon, which is the spoof or parody of The Hunger Games. I never even reviewed that, but for some reason the publisher took like a quote from me that I mentioned in a haul or something, and they like tweeted about it and were like, quite a compliment. And I was like, not really. But it is a really good spoof. And then I have my regular edition of Insurgent by Veronica Roth. I have the collector's edition up there. This is the one that I got like the day it came out, but I decided to display the collector's edition. Then I have a hardcover of Gone. And then I have some ARCs that I've received that I've also bought them in actual book form to support the authors or just because I just wanted them. I have Fear by Michael Grant, which I was super excited to get early when I did. Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver, which I still haven't even read, but I had an early copy of it if I had wanted it. And Shades of Earth by Beth Revis, which this was super awesome to have. She signed it and she gave me this little postcard in it, and it was super awesome. And then I have this really weird edition of The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I got my paperback for free from some contest. And these are the Nicholas Sparks books that I have in actual book form. I have a lot more on my Kindle, but here I have Safe Haven, Dear John, A Bend in the Road, True Believer, At First Sight, and The Rescue. And then I have Caught by Harlan Coben, The Woods, and No Second Chance, also by Harlan Coben. I loved this book. It was great. The Bad Beginning, the first book in the series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I have Lovesick by Jake Coburn, Sweethearts by Sarah Zarr, Crisscross by Lynn Ray Perkins, Crash Into Me by Albert Boris, and Every Day of Friday by Joel Olstein. On the next shelf, I have my Grey's Anatomy DVDs. I have seasons 1 through 8. I'll probably get season 9 for Christmas since I know it just came out on DVD. I'm super excited for the new season of Grey's Anatomy. It's like my favorite show. And then I have the first 2 seasons of Will and Grace. I used to watch that show when I was really young, which is probably not a good thing, but I liked it. And then down here, I don't really have much. Not enough to even go over there. There's just like a Final Cut Pro book, which was really helpful, and then like magazines and illustrated guides for the Hunger Games, and then some playbills, over there. Alright, so I have a low battery and low memory left, so I'm gonna do this last shelf really quickly. I have the first 6 books in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, which I used to read. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rogic Rules, The Last Straw, Dog Days, The Ugly Truth, and Cabin Fever. The Secret Diary of Ashley Juergens, which is from The Secret Life of the American Teenager. This is slightly shaky because it can't be on the tripod, this low on the ground. I have all my Roald Dahl books, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, The Witches, Matilda, The BFG, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Twits, SCO Trotty, The Enormous Crocodile, The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me, and The Magic Finger. I have some books from The Simpsons, The Penderwicks, which is by Jean Birdsall, The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane, and The Tale of Despereaux, and The Tiger Rising, all by Kate DiColommo. And then 6th Grade Secrets by Louis Sachar. Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Patterson. The Trumpet of the Swan and Stuart Little by E.B. White. The Homework Machine by Dan Gutman. I read this book in like 4th grade. It was super entertaining. The Report Card by Andrew Clements. Ink Heart, Ink Spell. I never read Ink Death. Dragon Rider, The Thief Lord, and Igraine the Brave, all by Cornelia Funk. The Underdogs by Mike Lupica, which I got signed. The Spiderwick Chronicles, the entire series by Tony Ditterlizzi and Holly Black. Then I have Life of Pi by Jan Martel. I don't know how that's pronounced. This is like I don't know, it's like a picture book, but not. And then I have the first 3 books in the Artemis Fowl series. I think I've read up to 5, but I sold my old ones for some reason. But then I rebought the first 3. I have the first 3 books in the Twilight Saga by Stephanie Meyer, Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse. I don't know where Breaking Dawn went. I used it as a prop in a video like forever ago, and I just never returned it to myself, I guess. I'll find it eventually, but for now, these are the only 3 I have up here. And this is a book my mom made for me for Christmas last year, and it's like about me, and it's me on the cover looking out into the distance from the mountains, and it's a really cool book. And this is a book, like, it's kind of like horoscopes, but it's like numbers and based on when you were born and stuff. And so yeah, that completes the bookshelf. Since I'm down here, I'm gonna get a shot of it up here. Literally laying on the floor to film these bottom shelves. I'm so happy with this. So that's the bookshelf tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Depending on how many books I buy, if I do much reorganizing, I may do another one this Christmas. But if it's not worth doing, I may not. But I should have a new video up soon, so you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and add me on Goodreads. Those are all fun things to do. So I'll see you guys around very soon. I hope you like these shelves, because I certainly do. Just look at them. Okay. See you guys later. Goodbye.